Want to know a secret? There are only two types of people in this world. We've all seen them. The ones who run through the grocery store with a list in their hand, grabbing only the items they need. And then there's the other person who's got a list, or maybe not, but either way, they're moseying through the aisles, comparing sales, and discovering new product. They go home with things that are on their list, and for sure they're going home with a few surprises. I'm guilty. I am the second type of person most of the time. And yes, that's why my husband prefers to do the grocery shopping. But I didn't come here today to this stage to talk about my shopping habits. No, I came for something much, much bigger. Lists. Quick show of hands, how many of you use lists? It could be a to-do list, maybe it's your shopping list, or maybe it's that never-ending mental checklist of all the things you need to do before the end of the day. Go ahead, raise your hand high if you are a proud list maker. I see you, the list makers of the world. Don't worry, I'm right there with you. But today I'd like you to consider this. What is the real goal of a list? Sure, it helps organize us, but could it also be limiting us? Lists are powerful. They shape not only our daily lives, but the entire world around us in ways we often don't even recognize. I mean, if it wasn't for a list, when my kids were younger, they'd probably end up at school without indoor shoes or water bottles or all those things. And if it wasn't for a list, I would absolutely get everyone's order wrong when I got to the drive-thru. And if it wasn't for a list, we might all forget something as important as booking our medical appointments. And if you're a true lister, which many of you are, you know there is something deeply satisfying about checking something off the list. But have you ever gotten to the end of your list, got all the way through it, checked all the boxes, and then felt like something's still missing? That's when lists start to show their true colors. When they stop serving us and start confining us. Take something as simple as filling out a form with a demographic checklist. I clearly remember when I was a child, I was often looking at it blankly, confused, unsure of what to do. Because as someone raised in a mixed-race family, with the beauty of diversity in my background, no single option made sense. Yet I was being told I had to pick a single box. Lists that force us into predefined categories like this don't make room for the full story. Let's shift gears for a second. I want to try something with you. I want you to sit back, relax, close your eyes if you want to, but imagine this. You've just applied for your dream job. You know you don't have all the listed qualifications, the ones that were on the job description, but you have confidence that you have experience, passion, drive, you can do this job, and you have no doubt about that. Your phone rings. You got the job. Congratulations. Now let's fast forward. It's your first day on the job. You're super excited. You're in a meeting with the leader of the organization. And she turns to you and says, without much of an introduction, when you first applied, you didn't even make my short list. You didn't have the listed qualifications. But there was something about you that just wasn't on that list. There was something intangible. So we decided we're going to take a chance on you. Okay, time out of your imagination for a second. Is anyone else going, what the heck? Take a chance on me? What does that mean? What does my future here look like? Or maybe you're further back and you're thinking, I wouldn't have even applied because I didn't qualify. I knew I didn't qualify. Either way, this scenario is a great reminder that there are intangible aspects to every list, things that you won't find on the list. And there's value and flexibility in stepping outside of the norm, outside of the rigid structures, just even if it's uncomfortable and uncommon. And this isn't about one list or one job or one person or one job description. No, we see it over and over in history. Some of the world's greatest innovators of our time, They're the ones who don't fit the list. Take Oprah Winfrey as an example. She built an entire empire and continues to do so, despite being told originally she didn't fit the mold. Or there's Steve Jobs, who was a college dropout, went on to revolutionize the tech world with Apple. What about J.K. Rowling? She was a single mother living on welfare, turned a rejected manuscript into one of the most successful book series in history. These visionaries, they didn't wait for someone to check a box next to their name. They went after the list, they expanded that list, and they made it real for themselves. But what about the person who doesn't push that hard? Or worse, doesn't even get the chance to, because a list gets in the way? I'm going to step back now to that imaginary scenario. Remember the one, new hire, not on the short list, gets the job anyway? That wasn't hypothetical. That was me. I had industry experience, I had education, I had connections, but I didn't cleanly check all the boxes. And that moment with the leader, yes, it clearly stuck with me, but not for the reason you might think. It wasn't because I felt like I was a failure. Instead, it was an awakening. It was the moment I realized that true value isn't found in ticking off boxes. That moment where I was told I was on the short list, it actually wasn't just my moment either. It was for all of us, whether in a job, in a relationship, or in the way we perceive ourselves. That moment was for every underdog who's ever felt like they didn't fit into the box. So here's my challenge for you today. Let's build a world where we don't let the list be the final word. Start with something simple. Why not invite someone to a meeting so you can get their perspective on a project, someone that typically wouldn't be there? That's stepping beyond the list. Or, if you're feeling even braver and bolder, why not skip tacos on Tuesday and try something new? The reality is that the shift, it doesn't have to be big to be powerful. So go ahead, keep your lists, I'm going to, but don't let it limit you. Because the list, it was only ever meant to guide us, not define us. One love.